Okay, hello and welcome. Today in this video I will be showing you the basics of creating charts and graphing in Google Sheets. Okay, so you want to open up Google Sheets. You can type in docs.google.com/spreadsheets and hit enter. It'll then bring you to this page, and we want to create a new blank spreadsheet. So we click on this, and it brings us here. So now as this loads, we are going to name our spreadsheet. Okay, so now let's make a chart. So the first thing we're going to do is create our different data points. So we're going to have, let's say, 6 different data points. And then we come up for data for each one of these. So let's say 28, 36, 42, 2, 4, and 9. Okay? So now what we want to do is, let's say we want to figure out the average of these data points. What we want to do is we want to highlight all of them and go to the bottom right hand corner on this little icon right here and click on it. It'll bring up the sum of all the data points, the average of them, the minimum, the maximum, and how many there are. It'll also show you different graphs that can be used with them. So this recommends a pie chart and a bar graph. So now let's close this. And let's say this was actually our chart for a graph, and we wanted to graph it. So we highlighted it all, and we go down to the bottom right hand corner, and we click on this. Now, let's say your graph isn't one of the two that it recommends. You then close this, and with these still highlighted, click on Insert Chart. It'll then bring up this page. So it'll bring up all of the different ones that can be charted with the data given. So this has a bar graph, a double line graph, scatter, bar, filled in line graph, and a pie chart. Let's say we want a line graph with these on our x-intercept and these on the y. We go Insert, Chart, and it's not there. So what we want to do is we're going to go to Chart Types, click on Line, and say Use Column A as labels. This will put the first column on the x-axis and the second column on the y-axis. To reverse this, if we want the second column on the x-axis and the first column on the y-axis, all we have to do is flip the data. So let's say we want this kind of graph. We then want to go to customization and fill in some data for it. If we want a title, we can do that. Click enter. If we want a legend, we can change the font, the background, different features of it, and we can even change the axes. So let's give a title to the x-axis. So let's say, okay. So now it enters that. We can change the minimum and maximum bounds for this. So this will add anything that you want. It'll change the bounds to whatever you want. Let's say we want to change the x-axis, the y-axis too. Click on horizontal and change it to left vertical or right vertical. So we can change the title, and we can change the bounds for this too. We can also change how many grid lines there are, the number font, the scale that we're graphing on, and different other things. So you can change the color of the line to whatever color you want. You can change the line thickness. And let's say you have a graph and you want to know the data points of each one of your data points. You can click on point size and click on whatever size you want, and this will show you where your data was at. You change the point shape, and you can change what axes the numbers are on. Okay, so we think this is pretty good, but now you want to add a trend line. Add a trend line here, and it'll give you the best fitted trend line of your graph. Okay, so now our graph is done, and we want to insert it. Insert the graph, and we have the graph. Now you can copy and paste this graph onto Google Docs, Google Slides, and almost any of the other Google tools by using Command-C, Command-V. But let's say we notice that the title is wrong. We can either click on it and change the title, or we can go back by double-clicking, and going to Advanced Edit. This will bring us back to this, where we can change everything. So those are the basics of graphing and charting in Google Sheets.